everyone, welcome to the Bikindle channel. My name is Ginika Okoro, a leader in the people and culture space, and today I'll be talking more about conscious leadership. If you haven't checked out the first video where I talked about what this channel is about, you can check it here in the thumbnail. I hope it's here or here, wherever they decide to put it. But it's going to give you an insight into what this channel is about, what I'll be focusing on, and why you should actually subscribe. So today's video, I'm talking more about conscious leadership. What is it about? And I'll be highlighting characteristics of conscious leaders. What makes somebody a conscious leader? It's not the fancy titles. It's not the big office. It's not your personality type. What makes you a good leader? What makes you a conscious leader? What makes you a servant leader? I think when we talk about conscious leadership, in the previous video, I talked about the fact that when you think conscious, you think about awareness. It starts with you. It starts with who are you at the heart of, being a person. Who are you? And so when we're going to talk about the characteristics of a conscious leader, I will need you to introspect and reflect on, am I this person? Is there something that I'm doing that has not reflected this in my leadership journey or as a human being? And then I want you to do something about it, because whether we like it or not, how we show up has an impact in the society at large. So if I show up right, the person next to me is benefiting positively, he translates it to the next person. It's a ripple effect. And that's why this channel is important to me, because I want to be able to inspire people to be better leaders, show up differently, and by doing that, create an ecosystem of strong leaders that have the right identity, the right mindset, and are able to do things differently. Okay, so I'm going to start. The first characteristic of a conscious leader I have here is, guess what it is? Self-awareness. When I said it starts with you, I meant it. Let's start from there. Self-awareness is understanding who you are as a person. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What do you like? What don't you like? When your body is giving you signals, how do you respond? Do you know what takes your energy? Do you know what gives you energy? That gives you an insight into whether or not you're a self-aware individual. Self-awareness, I must say here, is a journey. So if you say, oh, I'm not there yet, the whole point of having this and calling this out is for all of us to think, on a scale of 1 to 10, for instance, where am I on this? A conscious leader is self-aware in the sense that they know what they are great at, they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, and they are okay with it. They are not insecure about it. How many of us have experienced leaders who they want to take the glory when things are good, or when things are not good, they throw the blame around? That's not leadership. And that tells you that they are not secure in themselves. A good leader is self-aware, is secure in the fact that I'm not great at this, is secure in the fact that, oh, this is where I thrive, and they are okay with it. And they are able, in doing that, able to let others shine. So first thing, self-awareness. I, for one, I'll use myself as an example because I've gone through this journey of self-awareness in the past, 20 years, and it has led me to where I am today. I remember every time I've been asked to pick a team or to, choose my team members or to recruit into my team, or if I'm thinking of who should join my team, the first thing I think about is, Ginika, what are you great at? I don't want someone that looks like me. I'm not trying to replicate myself in other people. I want someone who can complement me. So for instance, my biggest strength is not Excel. My biggest strength is not, I'm a creative, and it's now that I'm learning to, stick to execution, because the likelihood as a very creative person is you're great at starting things, but seeing things to the end, I find that it could be a challenge for me. So when I'm recruiting, when I'm looking out for the strengths of people in my team, even if I don't have to bring in a new person, I find who is that person in the team I can lean on to complement what I'm not great at. Who is that person in the team who I can lean on to do the quick analysis, or who will be able to tell me, give me the numbers quickly, because I know my strengths are entirely different. I have grown in that area, but if we want a team that is high performing, I'm looking for people who are diverse. I'm looking for people who I can lean on, and they can also lean on me, and we complement each other. And I'm not also afraid to say, good job, So that for me is being self-aware and using that as a way to, amplify my leadership. That's just for an example. And please, this is no way of me glorifying myself, but I know that it has worked for me in the long run. The second thing, and maybe this should have been the first, but I would say the second thing is, a conscious leader leads from a place of purpose and service. What does this mean? The word purpose is thrown around, very often these days. And sometimes it may feel like, it's not even as important as we think it is anymore. No, purpose is most important. It's like the anchor on which you do anything you do. So purpose and service is about thinking from the place of, how can I serve humanity? How can I make what I am doing currently better off? And you can only serve from that mindset when you know that you are here for a certain cause. You understand, first of all, who you are, and then you understand, this is why I am here. In this space, it could be in a business. You find that, okay, this is the need I can solve. That is what purpose is about. What are you here to solve? What am I here to create? What is that gap I am plugging in this system? What is that gap I am plugging in this team with this individual that I am leading? What is that gap? And coming from that place of purpose helps you serve better. I am Christian, and the Bible says, if you want to be great in God's kingdom, you must learn to serve. The leader, he says, is not the one who lords. That's Jesus. He said, it's not the one who lords himself. We don't do that here. As a leader, you serve. You ask, how can I be of help to you? This thing I've asked you to do, where do you need my help? And even if the person can't articulate it, observing and listening to their needs helps you guide them, coach them into how to do things better. That is the job of a leader. Leading from a place of not, oh, I want this thing to be perfect, because it shows your reputation is at stake. But also, if you're able to work through people, if you're able to grow people, I promise you, you have a stronger legacy at the end of the day than that singular reputation for that moment. So think about the people. Think of, how can I serve them? How can I grow them? What can I do? What gap can I plug? Whether it's with their capability or expanding their capacity or helping them grow from point A to point B. That should be the drive of you as a leader. And that is what makes one characteristic of a conscious leader. The third thing, and I'll move very quickly because I don't want this to be a long video, is being accountable. And I put accountability and execution. I've given the example of execution. Execution is doing what you said you will do. It is not enough to say, oh, I'm inspired, let's do this. And then when you start, you're like, oh, I'm bored, we move on. You are flaky. And flakiness is not the sign of a leader. The opposite is resilience. Being able to stay the course and execute what you said you will do. And that's why I said, accountability and execution. A conscious leader is accountable to himself first, or in fact, you're accountable to God first, you're accountable to yourself, and then you're accountable to your team. Because believe it or not, they are watching you and they would replicate what you do. It's like children. If you have children or you have nieces and nephews, they don't say, do what you say, they do what they see you do. And that is the same with your team. They will only believe you to the extent of how consistent and in how your integrity shows up, how you're accountable to yourself, and then they would respond in that way. So a conscious leader is accountable to God, to themselves and to doing what was said will be done, and ensuring that people follow through. So while you're accountable to yourself, that's one point. But now, how do you hold your team accountable? Do you have favorites? Are they people that they know that they can, get away with not doing stuff because they are friends with you? No. A good leader, a conscious leader, will hold his team accountable. He will give, the recognition when things are done right. But when things are not done right, he or she is also able to call them to book, because your team is as strong as the weakest player. And you don't do your team a service if you are placating poor performance, because eventually it is a culture that permeates through the system. So when you see poor performance, you understand where the gap is with the individual. Is it a capacity issue? Is it a system issue? Is it an individual capability issue? You support in the coaching that needs to be done. And then, if it doesn't work, be able to call it out quickly so that you solve for it quickly. If the person it doesn't make you a bad person to be able to say, I don't think this is working. I think you will thrive in other places. I believe these are your strengths and this is what you are doing really well. But what we need now is not what you're able to give. And if you recall, in the past few months, we've tried to do this. Let them down easy with grace, because at the end of the day, you want to create a high-performing team that is accountable, that executes, and has integrity. And it starts with you as a leader. Okay, I'm going to pause this video and I'll talk more about the other characteristics in the next video, because it's important for me to ensure that the video is not too long and you stay with me. But I'm hoping this has been useful to you, and I want you to start thinking for each of these things I have talked about. The first one is a conscious leader is self-aware. He's not insecure. The second thing is a conscious leader is purposeful and acts from a place of service. And the third thing is a conscious leader is accountable, and accountable for execution. So ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how am I doing on these things? And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.